great. And I noticed you've got, help me out here, you've got Luther, which is World War I.
Yeah.
You've got Pappy Boynton, you've got Bob Sweeney. What are your other figures that you've got right now?
Yeah, Sailor Milan, he's a RAF pilot. He was actually South African that flew in the Battle of Britain, shot down, I believe, 35 aircraft. This is a portrait of him. Next guy we got is, we have Gunther Rahl. He was the World War II German pilot. He even has his Knight's Cross with Diamonds award that he actually did wear in flight. I always try to find a good picture of him getting out of the airplane after a combat sortie or something, because that way then I know it's exactly, you know, it's not propaganda, but actually what they wore. Because once again,
I noticed you molded him with his goggles on. Was there a reason for that?
One was just to see if how this little technique would work, and I put them in here on the unpainted figure. But with each figure that you purchase, you get the goggles with the decals with the eyes in them, and it's really a pretty realistic effect, really. Looks like he's looking right at you. And those are Gunther's actual eyes. That's his photograph, and tinted back a little bit to look like they're behind the glasses of the goggles.
I noticed when we did the painting video that you didn't paint the goggles. You actually have a sticker that goes in there, a decal.
Yeah.
And that's just because that's just hard to model glass.
Yeah, it takes time. You have to, you know, kind of get some shading and that going on. So to make it easier for myself and my customers, supply a little decal, and those can be fixed inside of the goggles. And these can be cut out and glued inside, and they're laminated, so they're shiny. This is matte. You usually put a matte finish on that, so the shiny goggles shine out from the matte finish. Looks really awesome. Looks like real glass. Pretty cool. And also, it's not just the portraits of the pilots, but it's also the gear. I mean, I do all the research on the gear, so this gear is accurate for what he actually wore.
So that's what they should have been wearing when he was flying.
Yep, dead on. Actually, sometimes you capture little things like when I did the portrait, I noticed that his snaps on the helmet were not over the straps on the goggles. And so anyway, I modeled it just the way I saw it. Later on, a historian told me, he said, "Oh, you did Sailor. Oh, you didn't put the straps over the goggles. Good boy." And I asked him why, and he said, "Well, if there's a fire, they needed to get out. They would either pull those down or pull them off, and they can get rid of the goggles quickly. But if those straps were over, they found they couldn't get them off their face."
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So little things like that you find.
So what you've got your figures now. What you know, you're working on your Japanese. Where do you see yourself going next?
It was probably going to be a. I think we're going to go back to quarter scale, World War I, for the British. I've got a Imperial German pilot, and I want to counter that with a. It's all about, you know, fleshing out the time periods. So a World War I Allied pilot, probably be British.
Yeah, are we going to ever see an American World War I?
Oh yeah, it probably will. So just give me enough time. I need more arms.
You need more arms and about 12 hours an extra day,
yes,
right?
Yes, if we can add that, man, we're going to have them all.
Okay, I know now you know Bob Sweeney. He's your friend. You used him as a model, but you've also met family from figures that you've crafted.
Yeah, actually, when I was doing the research for Lothar von Richthofen, this is the Red Baron's younger brother, and the Red Baron shot down 80 aircraft. Lothar was no slouch. He shot down 40, and in a lot shorter time frame too than anyone else that I've known of. Anyway, I thought it would be really cool to do Lothar just because he never gets quite the acclaim that the Red Baron, his older brother, does. Doing some research, I found some photographs online and just noted that one person said, "This is a photograph of my great-great-grandfather." Well, after I got along with the sculpt pretty well, I decided I'm just going to see if this person would be interested in this process, because I put the process on RC Universe and let her know that this was going on. Well, she was very excited about the project and has actually ordered a Lothar for her collection, and she's been an exchange student here in America, so she's let me know that the family, this is Richthofen family approved sculpture.
Yeah, I don't think you get better approval than that.
And it's pretty cool too to go through your emails, and you'll see von Richthofen pop up that you got an email from a Von Richthofen.
Now, does that put any kind of pressure? I mean, you've got Bob as your friend, and you've got the family looking. Does that put pressure on you when you're painting them?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, the pressure's always on anyway, because you never know what kind of aircraft these are going into. So I always try to do the absolute best I can, because who knows? They may be in a Top Gun competition aircraft. They may be going in a museum. So yeah, always try to do the best you can, or it may be going to someone's great-great-granddaughter of someone that you're painting there too.
All your figures so far, World War I, World War II, is there any chance we might see something later, some Vietnam, Korea, even modern?
Yeah. Oh, sure. I think definitely eventually like do some civilian pilots. Also Golden Age guys, like the Jimmy Doolittles, Frank Clarks, some of those guys that were well-known barnstormers back in the 20s and 30s. I think that would be pretty cool to model for some of the air age racers, those planes. And then maybe even a modern civilian to go in a lot of the Piper Cubs and Bush pilot kind of looking guys. That could be neat too. So,
I mean, you're going to do this, like we said earlier, it's going to be based on what you can sell. So you want to hear from the people what they, from the modeling public, what they want, what they need, right? Sure, sure. So the more that's out there, and also from the kit builders too, because I have made Gunther 2 specific kits. He's going to he fits really well in the Flight Skin ME-109 and of course the Top Flight Focke-Wulf 190. Now, will these fit in the ARFs like the big beautiful doll for the P-51 and the P-47 ARFs that are out there? Yeah, the Bob Sweeney pilot was actually sculpted for our Top Flight P-47. Great flying kit, and then by happenstance they came out with an ARF just as Bob was being completed, and he does fit in there really well. So this is not limited just to people that build kits? Oh no, it's for the ARF guys as well, and I've been told a lot of guys, they say that the pilot makes the plane, so. Well, that makes you stand out because not everybody's going to have a pilot figure that looks like this. Yeah. So now, if people want more information on your figures, or if they want to contact you, where can they find out more about this? They can go to my website. It's bestpilots.typepad.com. I put more on there too than just the pilots. Put some tips and tricks I use on weathering for my own aircraft, and stories of other guys that have done some builds and have my pilots in them, and so yeah, might find a lot of cool stuff on there. Okay, let me see. Now you do the Best Pilots, and right now it's still a part-time gig. But that doesn't mean you're not serious about it, right? Oh no, I guess I don't know how to describe how serious it is, but it's just something I love to do. It's always been a little pet peeve of mine. If the pilot, you got a great-looking airplane and you've got a Kermit the Frog in it, scale aircraft, that just doesn't look right. It's an injustice. Well, I know, and I've ran into you in Toledo, and I think maybe it's actually a testament to you and your business acumen, if you want to use the word, is that you're not spending a lot of money for a booth, but you'll take your figures to Toledo and you'll work the floor with them. So you're trying to make the business work without a little bit different business model than actually where everybody have the retail shop making pilots. Well, it is a niche market, so a lot of mass marketing is not going to work because it's not a mass market. But if I can keep it to a level of, keep the quality level at the best that it can be, and then working one-to-one with customers, the best thing that sells the pilots are the pilots themselves. So with every customer, it seems like it kind of markets itself. But then also gives me an excuse to go out to air shows and fly airplanes and meet cool people in the hobby as well. And write off your trip to Toledo every year. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lyle, I've seen a lot of your pilots around. In fact, that's how I met you. I actually saw a pilot figure before I met you. Yeah. I saw when I was covering Top Gun. The first year I was down there, I saw the pilot figure. And I was like, "Wow, where'd you get that from?" And they told me about you. And then later that year, I actually met you at Warbirds of the Rockies. So, they're out there, and if the people don't know about them, you really need to if you're serious about your airplanes. So we thank you for taking some time and letting RC Universe know about Best Pilots. I'm hoping that we see a lot more of them. Oh, you bet. You will. And just thanks so much for everybody out there and their support and yours, Ken. And keep buying them. I'll keep making them.
we'll sure try to sell a lot more of them for you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.